intelligence they're receiving from the United States is telling them the reality of what's going on for Israel, or they're just the same thing happening as in Ukraine. They're just reporting not totally in line with the reality of what's going on the battlefield on between Ukraine and Russia, but right now between Israel and Palestinians and Hezbollah. I'm talking about the intelligence, how
Yeah.
intelligence is honest with Israeli on the part of the United States.
Well, the problem is, in order to be honest with Israel, the United States has to be honest with itself. And given the overwhelming influence of the pro-Israeli lobby in the United States, it's impossible to have this kind of honesty. I mean, the first thing we'd have to ask ourselves is the pro-Israeli lobby seeking to influence the outcome of the 2024 presidential election? There's the fundamental question. It's one that one would hope that the Department of Justice, its National Security Division, would ask with the same fervor as appears to be asking whether Russia is interfering with the 2024 presidential election. One would hope that the FBI's National Security Division would investigate these pro-Israeli factions with the same fervor that they investigate, those who are alleged to be operating on behalf of Russia. One is a fantasy, that's the Russian story, and the other one is reality, the Israeli story that we don't want to confront. So we're not even honest with ourselves. So when you start off, just the opening proposition is America is incapable of being honest with itself about Israel, then the intelligence doesn't matter, because for intelligence to work, just a quick briefing on what intelligence is. People keep going, well, intelligence is what happens when an American hands the Israelis a piece of paper and says, read our intelligence. And the Israelis go, oh my God, you're so smart. You're so wise. Oh, we should have listened to you to begin with. That doesn't work that way. The first thing in intelligence, in order for it to become intelligence, is that you need direction. All right. Forget all the spy versus spy stuff right now. The first component of intelligence is direction. That means a consumer, the president, the National Security Council, Congress, Department of Defense, somebody says, I want to know this, puts out a question. And then the intelligence people, that would be me putting on my intelligence hat, go, oh, let me talk to you more about your question. What exactly do you want to know? And I dig down into it. And I find out why he's asking the question, what he wants to know, or she. And I say, okay, I got this one. And I come back to my shop and I break it down. I say, here's the big question. Now, to answer this, we have to ask additional questions. We call these essential elements of information that in their totality allow me to, if I answer all these, I'm able to come up with an answer to the big question. And I break down each EEI. And then those are broken down into individual intelligence collection requirements. And those are actions that need to be taken, questions. We got the EEIs, I break them down into specific things. And then in order to answer each one of these things, I have to link it to an intelligence collection capability. Human intelligence, signals intelligence, imagery intelligence, we call MASINT, or overall signals intelligence, open source intelligence. There's a whole bunch of different sources, and we cast them out to the collectors. And then the collectors go out and collect. Or do they? Well, because if you're a human intelligence collector and now you're going out to collect, you still have to come up with a human intelligence collection plan. I need to meet this person. I need to get access to this person who's going to answer the question that we've asked. We've said, who can answer it? This person can answer it. How do I get to them? This is what I need to do to get to them. And then supervisors look at it and go, whoa, what? You think you're going to do that? That isn't going to happen. No. Boom, that's too politically sensitive. The ambassador may say, because the ambassador runs all CIA operations inside his country or her country that they're in, and they may say, no, that's stupid. You're not going to get to do that. And so there's already manipulation taking place. Sir, I want to intercept the phone calls of Emmanuel Macron because I want to know what he's saying to this person. Yes or no? It could get blocked. So even as you break this down, there's all, and then once you collect this information, it goes through the basic assessment. You collect it and say, what does this mean? And that's done at the local level, the junior guy. You do that. And it gets up to a mid-level analyst who now brings it together. That's their job, to bring it all together and answer the question. Write something to answer the question. The problem with the mid-level guy is two things. One, they don't do the actual briefing of the boss. They just put it together. Two, they want to be the person that briefs the boss. They want to get promoted. And so they'll write it, and it's an honest reflection of the actual intelligence that's been collected, even though maybe you weren't allowed to collect all the intelligence you needed. And then you present it to your boss and say, this answers the question. And the boss goes, no, it doesn't, because your answer is no. The boss wants the answer to be yes. But sir, it doesn't. This is no. No, you're not understanding me, Scott. If you want to be the person to get promoted, this has to say yes. And then I have to go back and rewrite it. So it says yes. And then my boss takes it and takes it to the consumer and says yes. And then we take it and give it to somebody who reads it and says, oh my God, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. No, it's a lie. A lie. 100% lie. And that's the problem with U.S. intelligence in Israel. We can't be honest with ourselves. The mid-level analyst responsible for, assessing the data to produce the assessment that gets sent up to the top isn't allowed to give the answer they want because politically it's unacceptable. If you could give the answer you want, we'd shut AIPAC down a long time ago for being they brag about spending $100 million to buy elections. They spent $24 million to defeat somebody in a primary, and nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. I can guarantee you that every junior analyst is going, that's the biggest problem we face right now. Not allowed to talk about that. You don't only talk about this. And you're only allowed to give the answer that the boss already wants. They ask the question knowing the answer they want. And that's the problem, is the direction. If the direction is honest, I really want to know the answer to this because it